Thank you, my lady, for daring this meeting with me. You have my assurances on your safety throughout your travels.
My lord, our lands are in chaos. It was hardly more dangerous to travel to Ortisia than it was to ride between Rovalt and my castle at Tirby.
Then let me reward you with freedom from your burden and share my intimate knowledge in your affairs. Your husband's real name is Godfrey Neymar.
Yes, I have learned this information by the same... from...
Our mutual friend. But you know so little of his history.
Please go on, my lord.
Godfrey first popped up in Vostrom as a cutthroat and gang leader before his combat skills caught the attention of the garrison commander. Within a few years, he was the militia commander and was at the city of Vostrom when my father, Hafiz Wazoo, stormed the city many years ago. Godfrey, who went by Telth back then, conspired to poison Wazoo after the siege and was rewarded for this treacherous deed with a patent of nobility by the Southern Empire. I've been hunting them and for Godfrey for years now, and now you're going to help me catch him.
And afterwards, our kingdoms can have peace?
Sure, of course. There could be a truce, but more importantly, peace for you and your family. Godfrey is a wretched and despicable murderer, and you and your family won't be safe until he is gone.
This I know in my heart, but how can we do this? The Baron is so suspicious.
We'll plan a northern campaign this winter, and our mutual friend can relay where the Baron's whereabouts are when we are closing in with our main army divisions.
The city of Provend would make a good target. My uncle is the garrison commander and still loyal to my family. He will do whatever I ask.
Good. Then we'll have them ready to defend against us, with secret orders to rout when the assault gets hot and heavy, and then we'll finally have the Baron in a trap he cannot escape. We finally meet Baron York, or should I say, Godfrey Neymar.
That is not my name, my lord.
Oh, right. Maybe you prefer Telf, or Barclay d'Augustine, or one of the many names you've used in your treacherous and wicked life. Well, your deeds have caught up with you today.
I am a commander in the armies of the Vlandian Empire, and must be treated with dignity and respect.
Enough! Your entire life has been one continuous lie with malevolent designs. Today, it ends. Commander, ready the block.
You might kill me today, you infidel scum, but my kingdom and the spirit of my body will haunt the lands and your family for eternity.
Well, today, let's reunite you with that dirty underworld. And if you're lucky, it will only take one swing. Goodbye, Baron.
On your feet and get moving. Your lot is to be clear of the city gates by dawn. Hey! If I have to tell you again, you Vlandian scum, it'll be through the shaft of my spear. Now get out! Oh, there you are. It's to your right, up some stairs. The sergeant at arms will give you your armor back, but not your weapons. Those have been confiscated by the Emir. What the hell are you staring at, you disgusting, pathetic excuse for a knight? Ah, I suppose you're not used to seeing Aserai guards holding down a city so far north. Well, you better get used to it. My master Wazuban has arrived, and your pathetic army of mules and donkeys was destroyed. Now go, before I reenact part of the battle with your face.
Cyrus! Captain Cyrus! You need to take my watch. I've got to go take a leak.
Enough money. Here. Stone or coin?
The Sir could really beef up security some.
What do you mean? What's wrong with us?
Well, we're fine. But I've been thinking we should watch the outsides.
That's stupid. People to worry about there on the inside.
No, then you catch them before they get inside, you taffer.
Where the fuck you get off talking to people about me behind my back going over my head?
What people?
What people would you think I wasn't gonna find out?
I don't even know what you're talking about, man.
No, you said I'm bringing heat on you? I gotta listen to people because of your fucking shit? You're ordering me out? You better get your own fucking army, pal.
I didn't do anything. I mean, I didn't order you or anybody. I only told Andy Stone that you had a lot of heat on you and that was a problem.
You want me to get out of my own fucking town?
At least we can resume trade with the southern kingdoms.
Sure we can. Even with huge and crippling tariffs, the southern fiefs aren't about to allow us to move in on their monopoly.
Cold, snow, wind. Why the hell did I ever leave my beloved Habyar? 2 months ago, I was dining with half-naked virgins. Good luck finding someone around here willing to get naked when my balls are frozen.
Worse? How could it have been worse? The Baron was one of the most greedy warlords I've ever seen.
Maybe, but he was also the only resistance to being outright conquered and enslaved. Now that he's dead, we might...
Dead? I thought the Baron was only captured.
Yeah, dead. My sister saw the execution from her room in the Ghostrifter tavern at Prevent. These invaders executed the Baron for war crimes, apparently.
Oh my God, everything! Yeah! God, dragons!
Whoopsies! Damn it, Roland. Flash your Johnson at me again on duty. It will end up being pecked by chickens in the market square.
It just slips out, Davies.
Stupid fucking mallet. I wish I could use this on the blacksmith's head instead of on this wagon wheel.
Hey, you sack of shit thief. We have a horse thief here. Guards at the gate, grab him. Oh, you son of a...
Thief! Thief! Call the guards! He took a horse! Thief! A black horse. I saw him.
Leanna! Leanna! Where's the Chamberlain? Oh, you fucking idiot. Leanna! Leanna! Commander Toll? Marshal Sachs! Where the hell is everybody? Commander Tollison, what the hell are you doing here in this castle? This is not your post.
Baron? They said you were...
Dead, right? So everyone says, and yet here I am, standing right before you. So quit blabbering and answer me, you idiot. Where the hell is my wife? Where is Baroness Leanna?
She just left. Went down the servants' stairs, and in a hurry. It's a pleasure to have you back. At least there's peace with the Aserai, huh, Baron?
I can see you're just as excited as my wife that I am back. And why would there be peace with the Aserai? What the hell is going on here? All right, friends, welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. Our YouTube channel is dedicated to all things Bannerlord related. Welcome back again to our epic Vlandian campaign, full of dipshit guards like this here. Fucking idiot. So the Baron, as you guys have met, is no normal person, right? The Baron seems to get away with stuff that most of us mortals do not. Obviously, from the cutscene, a lot has happened. We will do our very best here to update you on events and continue to pull you through this epic Vlandian campaign. Leaving Tirby City, and I thought it was appropriate to start with this voice. Don't worry, in fact, I'll change it over right here.
Excuse me, I had a little frog in my throat here. Now, the Baron has actually gained level. As you can see, he's level 44, and we have an attribute point to spend. So, ordinarily, medicine would make sense, but I'm starting to lean towards roguery. Now, I never intended for the Baron to be a bandit lord, but the campaign is kind of veered that way. And then I think because he's such a bull, even though it makes sense to do intelligence here and boost his medicine skill, that makes a lot more sense in a normal campaign. The Baron doesn't make a lot of sense. In fact, he survives things that generally nobody else survives. Again, we're down to the 6 kingdoms here, the House of York, Sturgia, Vlandia, and then the 3 kingdoms we're at peace with. Of course, suddenly, the Baron is at peace with the Vlandians. With the Aserai, not the Vlandians. And as you saw from the cutscene, he's surprised and perturbed by that. If you didn't follow the cutscene, if you skipped it, some guys don't seem to like it. Well, all I can say is you missed a lot, and I'll do my best to sort of catch you up to things. Now we're starting over here because the Baron has had multiple disastrous episodes. We got destroyed at Proven by a huge Aserai force, and then by a smaller force at Revolt, we got destroyed again, even though I felt we had a really good chance to win. The Aserai are just so strong. So we're rebuilding here. We're going to gather all the troops we can. Fortunately, like a hedgehog, like a squirrel, we have stockpiled troops and horses and goods here so that we'll be able to sort of jump right back out into the world of Calradia. And there's a lot of shit happening, right? I'm going to spend probably half of this episode just updating you on shit that's going on, right? Lyanna is missing. The Baron went to Tirby Castle. She was gone. In fact, she was recently gone, and she is now missing. The Baron doesn't know where she is. He's sending out scouts. He's sending out messengers saying, where the hell is my wife? What the hell is going on here? Who negotiated peace with the Aserai without his permission? All of these things are highly disconcerting to the Baron. And if you watch the cutscene, right, you will understand that there's a little bit of confusion in the land of Calradia. Is the Baron alive? Who is this guy? Did the Baron get executed by Wazuban? I will let you guys speculate. Of course, I'm not gonna spoil too many secrets here. And the Baron continues to look for help. So he's going to be whoring it out with minor clans. Anybody who will join at this stage the Baron, with the exception of Vlandian nobles, right? They're dead to him. Just about anybody, though, he will accept help from. We pick up some troops here at Ostakan. Oh, most of our companions are here, of course, because we only have one city left. How nice that they're here. And we get to introduce the Baron's mistress. You guys have learned a little bit about her. You might have seen her get pregnant a few times. This is the Baron's main squeeze. Now, Lyanna, of course, is his legal wife as a nobleman, right? In fact, he married into a noble family because Lyanna was a noblewoman. This is the Baron's preferred choice, a nice busty blonde. She's got the IQ of a turtle, but she's excellent on the battlefield and evidently in the bedroom. So you guys get to meet the Baron. That is one of the companions in this campaign. Now we're going to continue to try to get custom companions into this campaign, but for the moment, Liz is in the army. I get the Baron decked out here. I think he needs a spear. His crossbow skills are starting to get up there, but I still feel better in most battles with the spear. Now she looks good, right? She's got some decent armor and decent skills. If you're curious, she's effectively the similarity, or very similar to a Sturgeon noblewoman of the same unit. She will be a decent warrior, but much more important elsewise for the Baron. A source of relief, we'll call it. Now we got to get rid of some of these troops here. We're still sticking to Vlandian only troops. I'm very, very, very reticent to use any non-Vlandian noble lines, right? We're not going to be using Fiend champs and stuff like that. So every once in a while when these units sneak in, usually because of companions or sometimes they get dumped in garrisons, we're simply going to drop them. I know there are some mods out there where you can restrict it. It doesn't happen very often. especially now that we're our own kingdom. So every here and there, I'll have to do a little bit of maintenance like this. Now we need levels. We need to gain some experience for these troops because we got Lake Rat recruits and Levy crossbow. They're going to upgrade to good units, but right now, of course, they're wearing diapers. Now Liz is gaining levels. Didn't take her long. Who knows what she's doing to gain levels, right? We can all speculate what a mistress does to gain levels. There have been a lot of them throughout the history of medieval warfare. Yeah, see, all of these guys here, I'm actually tempted to fight the Sea Raider army, even though this is no joke, right? 442 Sea Raiders. In fact, I hope we get a little bit of help here from the caravans and whatnot with the reinforcement system. So I don't think we'll lose this kind of a battle, but we can certainly take a drubbing here where it really sets us back. And, any moment I'm waiting for Sturgeon forces to loom over the horizon here. The Baron is very much a hunted man at this stage. And it doesn't look like we're going to get a lot of help. Maybe that caravan will join. But I'm doing this primarily for two reasons. I want prisoners. We want some of these bandits as prisoners. There is a tiny chance that they would say, we will join you. And then, of course, we get like a free 100 troops. But if they won't join us, which looks like the case, then we will fight them, take some prisoners, and hopefully we can gain, 60, 70, 100 upgrades or something like that if we fight this battle well. Some guys might frown on this and say we're farming. Okay. The guys can keep frowning. By the way, frowning makes you look older, resting bitch face when you get older. So let out a smile there, fellas. We're just playing a video game here, but we're doing as best we can to strategize how to survive in this brutal campaign with the rules that we've put into place. Now, we've some real raggedy divisions here. This third division, 2/3 of it, 3/4 of it is guys with pitchforks, so they're not going to be able to do much. The first division has some decent shield infantry. We can square them. What I'm thinking about doing here is just having a heavy-sided attack and then archers over here on the far left. So what we'll do is basically try to pull a lot of the Sea Raiders and Sea Raider chiefs to our right, and then flank them with skirmishers, archers. Meanwhile, we'll drag cavalry through both of their flanks. If we could get a 5-to-1 ratio of upgrades to kills here, I will be very happy. And that, by the way, is a metric I view for success at this stage of a Bannerlord campaign, or at this particular moment. Of course, a couple weeks ago, the Baron had a huge army, right? And especially a couple weeks ago, game time, you guys were used to seeing the Baron commanding 1,600. Very different world now, right? Okay, somebody's here to help. It says a caravan is joining. That'll help a little bit. So we're going to set up archers over here with the skirmishers. The 7th Division has a decent mix of little Sea Raiders and Javelin divisions, and we're gonna use the tools that we're given here, right? We have some weak cavalry, a few Banner Knights probably, a very weak shock troop division. And look at all the javelins raining in here. So we want some of these Sea Raiders, right? The Vlandians have no natural javelin throwers, no natural skirmishers, just their pathetic little throwing axes. So the Baron and myself, strategically, I want a division that's 50% javelin throwers, right? And so by fighting these guys, at least we acquire some javelins for the future battles to come. Man, their huge line of infantry just met our 1st Division. That's going to be some serious losses there. And the death spam doesn't look good, right? This is the guys who kind of, maybe they snub their nose at this like it's farming. Who's getting farmed? Right now, it looks like we're the ones getting farmed, right? They are blasting us with javelins. However, that 7th Division is holding the line beautifully. Our cavalry did its job and distracted the enemy. Now that 7th Division is boring in. And our crossbow does have just absolutely the enemy in their sights. I don't know who that is, but somebody's joining. We'll take the aid. At least it's not more bandits, right? You could definitely hear less talking, more raiding any moment now as more bandits join. Although this was the only army of bandits I could see in the first 15 minutes of this episode. So let me describe this while this battle finishes here. You can tell it's over just by the death spam, barring reinforcements here.
what I mean by upgrades to deaths, you get deaths and injury in combat, and deaths are the real one that suck, right? You get banner knights that die, that unit's gone forever. Injuries aren't a big deal, right? They're not that big of a deal. This is Vlandia, right? No, or I was going to say Aserai, right? Yes. Aserai forces joined here because it's bandits. Everybody pretty much picks on the bandits. Here we go. So almost a 10-to-1 upgrade to kill ratio. Those guys, those 14 are gone forever, but that's 122 units. And this is really nice too. That's 122 units that upgraded for only 14 deaths. I like a 5-to-1 ratio. 70 is what I would have been shooting for. And look at this. Every single levy crossbow and most of the other crossbow leveled up. That's why I fought that battle, right? Some guys, again, they might scoff. I hope nobody's scoffing, right? You guys are watching. You choose to watch. You're free to X out. As my subscriber count craters, they're like, okay, I'll X out. But, you know, we're going to continue to, at moments like this of the campaign, I'm not just going to fast forward and all of a sudden we got 4 fiefs and the Vlandians are gone and, we win, right, fellas? We're going to try to show you some of these important moments of a campaign. Obviously, the Baron and his kingdom are in a very vulnerable state. This actually feels a little bit like a Disaster of War series, right? We have one pathetic little army here with us. I can't call anybody else. There's no more help. This is good, though. Epicrotia is being besieged by the Sturgeons. Why is that good? That means the Sturgeons are busy elsewhere. I haven't seen a Sturgeon army in maybe a week of game time, so that's a big relief. That's not, though. Didn't take long for Vlandia to siege Tirby Castle. All right, people are getting taken prisoner by mountain bandits, and look at all these fucking Vlandian forces to our west, or east. Yikes. So, I guess we head to Tirby Castle. We're desperate to recruit units here, right? We will take every single peasant and guy with the pitchfork. I would take full-on peasants at this stage. We need bodies. I need a minor clan to suddenly pop up and be willing to join us. The Baron, you know, of course, the Baron, we need a break in this campaign here. Otherwise, we're looking at extinction. Of course, the other side of this still continues, right? The Khuzait are still out there. The last thing I saw, the Khuzait and the Southern Empire were at war. You guys can, you know, you feel free to scoreboard watch in the lower right corner. There's a lot of shit going on in this campaign. There's the Sturgeons with the Nords out there rampaging. And look at this shit. I was wondering what was going on here. These horse thief motherfuckers, when they take your city, they empty out all your stuff from your loot, and all our horses here. And look, all our food is here. So the Aserai came in here. They had a huge feast at Revolt, took all our shit, and then it ended up in the market. We got to go buy our own shit back here. But I will buy it back because we still have 1.5 million dinars. We have plenty of money. And I'm going to need that food. In fact, I think it's pretty close to time to making Ostakan our impenetrable final stand, right? Make it like a huge defense force with a massive amount of food. And well, there's egotism for you. She names her baby after herself, or maybe the Baron did that. That is the Baron's mistress. So evidently, as guilty as charged, right? They are doing naughty things. Well, and that's what happens, right? That's a warning to the two of you women who are amazing and watching this with your spouse. When you betray your husband and then you leave, he's gonna find a woman, right? He's gonna find a mistress. Don't do that shit. Of course, I jest here. The Baron was going to have a mistress. The medieval era, right? Every noble had a mistress, right? They didn't marry for love. They didn't usually even marry for attraction. They just said, this noble household wants to marry us. They come with a giant dowry of 500,000 scudi or whatever. Choose your currency of the age. And then, of course, the marriage would be consummated. Both sides probably grimacing. Shit's happening out there. You guys are free to read in the corner there. But you know, and so mistresses were very, very common. Of course, there was the old double standard. Men were allowed to have a mistress. Women were absolutely not allowed to do shit. And here's where all the Sturgeons are, right? They're assaulting Epicrotia. I don't know who's at Epicrotia. I would imagine that's rebels. I didn't see. But of course, when there's a rebellion, the AI generally wigs out and sends everybody. So we may have just a little bit of time here before the Sturgeons pour over the valley, and we need to snatch that time here. Yeah, so, you know, mistresses are giving birth. There's all kinds of shit happening. In fact, The Southern Empire is destroyed. Now, what the fuck happened here? There's so much shit going on, it's hard for me to keep track here. These are all Skolderbroda, and you know what just happened? They just left the Vlandians. We'll take these guys on. Take me to your leader, right? Voldrat. This guy. We need this guy. Where is he? I don't think that's close. Damn it. Because if this guy was close, assuming he doesn't hate the Baron, of course, there's 4 minor clan armies, and the only one that's not here is the leader. So these guys are the proverbial lap dance. How brutal is this? We badly need help, and we don't get it. My mind got squirreled there. What else happened? Mancha grants Yoguris to Genghis, right? Genghis. There's all kinds of stuff happening, fellas. Of course, he's 200 years predated, but Genghis, Vlandian, insolent Vlandians. It's time for more executions, too. The Baron is done fucking around, right? At this stage, the Baron is an all-out wanted rascal hitman. Everybody hates the Baron. Evidently, his own family, even his own guards, aren't thrilled about the Baron. Pretty much nobody likes the Baron. I guess his mistress. That's about it. Maybe she puts up with him because he's rich. We'll take all of these Sea Raider prisoners, right? That's going to be a nice bounty for us. They're decent melee. They've got some throwing weapons. We'll take all this loot here, because that all of a sudden that Northern Empire was just bereft. Not Northern Empire. My mind is on the Northern Empire. So the Northern Empire is no longer. They got destroyed there. I'm not sure if you guys caught that, but there's a lot of shit going on here. It's happening all at once. Now we're being chased by another Vlandian force. Look at how dumb they are. They're just right in front of us. They're going to siege. It's about as dumb as it gets. So this is what I kept trying to say. Of course, you may have already seen this from the perspective of Ryland, but seeing it from the other side of the world, and we're down to 5 kingdoms, right? People are dying of old age. Oh, and the Vlandians want peace. They want us to give them money. Well, here's our response to your request for money for peace, you sons of bitches. Have another head in a bag sent to your front porch. The Baron is through negotiating, right? The Baron is full-on enraged. And it's a hell of a lot of fun to play. Now I'm going to do you guys a little favor and just kind of dull that. The sound is 86 clans. Send us an email saying they don't approve of us removing the head from one of their noblewomen. Baron gives no fucks. In fact, if he's at the typewriter, if he's at the computer, he's typing vigorously to their emails. They don't approve. Capital letters, go fuck yourself. He's just enraged. You're all dead. Nobody wants to be the enemy of the Baron either. I think we'll get this on here. We'll turn the sound back on. Of course, you want a sound for a battle like this. I think we'll make a shot here. This is definitely no easy battle. I wish the garrison was sallying out, because then we'd have more troops. You can't look at the power bar anymore in this campaign and say, oh, it's an easy battle or not, usually anyways, because most of the time when we're fighting these battles, we're facing better opponents. We're facing, look at 41 Banner Knights. I jumped out of that battle just to show you this, and also I always like to pop up the difficulty. There's guys out there that, for whatever reason, they watch a battle and they're like, you must be playing on easiest difficulty, bro. No, it's definitely Bannerlord difficulty. This campaign, I don't think you could call this campaign Bannerlord difficulty either. This is Hell, Diablo, Armageddon difficulty. So we'll see how this goes. This is going to be interesting. They have a very cavalry-heavy army. So we're going to set up shield and shock on both wings here. I'm going to get creative with tactics. Liz is going to lead the 3rd division. That is Comet Royal's division. Of course, we lost Comet. Don't worry, Comet. You will be back in the campaign soon. I presume you don't want to be the Baron's mistress. We won't take anybody. By the way, if anybody writes in, especially if they're female, we won't turn you into just a whoring mistress of the Baron. We won't do stuff like that. Don't worry. If anybody's concerned about shit like that, we're not going to be vulgar, just with NPCs where it doesn't matter. Although maybe somebody wants to be the Baron's mistress. I don't know. Yeah, I guess if you ask to be the Baron's mistress, I might consider it. That would be wild. I don't know, maybe I'll get arrested on YouTube or something like that. Well, it'll be like a brothel channel or something like that, and we'll get unlisted because it's too much like porn or something. I don't know. We're not gonna be doing any of the hot butter or anything like that. I'm aware that there are all kinds of mods that are like X-rated or whatever the fuck. Won't be doing any of that, right? There's enough carnage and insinuation in this campaign that you don't need that. Now, I've got 2 different crossbow divisions here. What I'm trying to do is set up strategic wings for this attack. When they have that many cavalry, they're going to come in multiple wings and attack your sides. So what I want to do here is have an answer for it. I've got skirmishers to pile through the middle here. A nice strong 7th Division, a square in the center. They have a lot of crossbow too, right? So we're going to have to contend with that. We'll probably use the landscape as best we can. But I like this setup here. This cavalry line out in front here holding back the enemy waves. That looks good. That 1st Division in the center there. We might be a little bit far away from our 4th Division here. You don't want your units so far away in a wing setup like this that they can't help each other. That's borderline too far. But we'll roll with it. See what it looks like here. They're sending up a couple horse archers here we can cut down. And we'll see what kind of an assault they make. Gun down some of these sword sisters. I'm really trying to hone in my crossbow skill, but it seems like you can't hit people on a horse. I swear, like, every single one of those just went right through her. And she fights like a superhero here. Oh, shit. The enemies... What are they doing? You know what? The enemy's playing defensive here. I just realized we attacked. It's a close enough battle. They have lots of sharpshooters and crossbow. So they're like, we're not attacking you. You're the one that attacked, dipshit. You must come to us. So we'll do some offensive tactics here. And now they're countercharging with cavalry. All right, it's not the worst strategy, right? Try to catch us off guard a little bit here, but we're on guard. So we'll set our sharpshooters ready to fire away here, and then we'll start to move in. Now, I've got a little ridge there on the left. That might be usable. The enemy's kind of between a couple rocks, so I'm not going to make a frontal assault, that's for sure. Let's use this left flank over here. There's a couple different ridges here we can hide behind. We can swirl around the side of those hills, bring in a flank of... we've got that, I think the 7th Division is our javelin division. We can get an archer or crossbow division behind here, and they'll have some really good crossfire, to quote Tombstone. How you doing, Wyatt? Got you in a crossfire. How you like that? Right, we're going to shoot the shit out of these crossbow. They're being very cagey. It's actually not the worst defense, although they should just be standing still, just pounding us. Instead, they're sort of scurrying all over the place like they got a pee or something like that. This cavalry, I think, is going to charge. Let's see what they do here. Their crossbows there, they're trying to protect their cavalry, or their archers with cavalry. But we have this ridge here with very limited line of sight for the enemy here. So this is where we make our stand. And it's not an epic battle, but it's an important battle, right? We must win these battles and must win them by decent margin because there's going to be more fights. All right, let's get the 1st, 3rd, 6th Division, 7th Division pushed up. Very few of their crossbow can see us because of these double ridges. Let's move a division up there just to block their view completely and put a bunch of shields in their face while we exterminate this cav division and move up our crossbow. Let's get that 6th over on that side there. I'm going to wrap around on this side, our right side here. We'll be able to get a line of skirmishers with an infantry square and shove it into the enemy's face while we pound them with a flanking skirmisher division. And their cavalry is being butchered. We got archer support now, crossbow support. The 8th Corps is probably going to get pounded up there. But I need them to buy us time here while we move our divisions up 6th, 5th. Alright, let's start moving these guys up aggressive here. Let's see what it looks like on this flank. A little bit of exposure here, but if we lead with this cavalry division, 1st Division of Infantry, I think that's doable. Let's put the 1st right here, start to menace the enemy. And we'll be ready to roar in with shock and skirmishers. We'll flank with this 6th Division. Let's get this 6th Division basically behind the enemy. That way the enemy can't kite, right? They'll kite right back into the ranks of those units. Here, the cavalry's charging our infantry, and our skirmishers can finally go to work, right? Here come the javelins. Right in your back, dude. Catch a bunch of javelins. Didn't kill very many, but they certainly softened them up. And we gotta upgrade these skirmishers. They're not gonna be very effective at Lake Rat recruits. The lowest level Sea Raiders also, I think, have javelins, and they're really weak javelins. We gotta upgrade these units. And get a big, long skirmisher division here right on the enemy left flank or right flank. Look at their angle. It's gonna be savage. Meanwhile, the 1st Infantry can come in. The 6th is on the other side. That's gonna work beautifully. We've got to get our archers moved up here, so they went from a liability, or from an asset to a liability. Let's charge at this 3rd Division. Yeah, look at this. The 6th Division is going to be fully behind him while the rest of our units charge. I've got to get cavalry in here, though. That way they're distracted and kept busy. They got a lot of crossbow in here. They pull our square right into it. Die, Vlandians. Alright, skirmishers can be told to charge. The javelins and axes are starting to fly. Let's join these boys on foot. They got some tough infantry here. They got legionnaires, volgers. Hey, you fucking legionnaire. Those super quick maces. 1st Division's getting butchered, but I'm less concerned about those guys. Those guys, there's not that many guys in there I need to upgrade. It's a bunch of peasants anyways. We'll get more peasants. I want to upgrade these lake rats, and I want to upgrade our archers. It's going to be an ordeal getting upgrades, because we're not fighting easy opponents. We're guys getting shot off their camels. How the fuck do we have camels? We must be getting prisoners. Just keep pushing through here. They're starting to rout, I think, or reforming. We're mauling the center of their infantry line. They don't have very many infantry here, but well, now it's starting to fight. Hey, you fuckers. Still got a lot of crossbow and archers here. The enchants. Get the fuck out of here. Well, a little bit bloody, but we finished it up really well. Once our units were in place there, it really paid off. The skirmishers 8 and that 6th Division behind them, I can still see them over there. They're in a nice position, just spraying arrows into the retreating enemy here. And victory. And victory is all we need here, right? This campaign, obviously, is getting more and more difficult, right? We need some things to change positively. We're chasing down the last handful of Vlandians. Oh, it's a lord. She's mine. The Baron wants her. Where is she? Oh shit, she just got killed, I think. She fucking groaned. Usually that's a death. Let's go see. Sure as shit. Alid Delea was killed right there in front of us. Well, and there you go with the Death for All mod. This is going to be a vicious, bloody campaign. And you know what? Foreign card, you son of a bitch. We're going to get more blood splattered across the computer screen in this episode. Tons of upgrades, though. Now, a lot of death there. That's way more than I wanted to see. But it was a bloody fight, right? And we're just trying to carve out some kind of force here. Come with us, foreign card. Over to the block. We'll pick up all of these Vlandian prisoners, although we're over here. We're probably going to get some of them escapees. 150 upgrades? Is that... I don't know how we got 150, but I'll take it. That's beautiful. Adding a bunch of cavalry. And the Baron's starting to gain a head of steam, and beautiful, right? You take the killed lord and you strip her of her nice piece of armor, just drag it off her, pull it off of her like you're skinning an animal, and just put her skin on you, right? It puts the lotion in the basket, or else it gets the hose again, right? We'll do some Buffalo Bill here just to add to the horror of those watching. There's death and carnage here, and let's make it more bloody. Come with us, foreign card, you dipshit. The Baron is done fucking around. I mean, let's, Unless these minor clans want to join us, right? And then maybe, of course, maybe the Baron will be compliant with them. But the rest of these sons of bitches, it's the axe, right? The Baron is belligerent. So, let's see. I want to break these episodes up. I think I'm going to... Unless there's a big battle looming right around the corner here, we're gonna break these episodes up. Of course, you want to stick around. You want to see more from this campaign. There's going to be more carnage and more chaos. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen, right? There's some parts I'm in control of, and there's a lot of other parts I'm not. So this is your opportunity to subscribe. Let me know what you think of this campaign, friends. Let me know what you think of the cutscenes. Don't worry, there won't be 9 minutes of cutscenes very often. It was just a very important moment in the campaign. You want to join us, dude? Join us. What do you think? Nah, you don't want to join us. Well, you're a dead man later on, dude. All right, we're going to wrap this episode up. I appreciate you, fellas. Please hit that like button on the way out. With all that said, I will talk to you, friends, next time.
My lord, I must have a word with you.
Didn't I tell you to never meet me here? Have you lost your mind?
The Baron is alive.
What? What the hell are you talking about? You must have really lost your mind, Baroness.
You don't understand. I've seen him, my lord. He rode into Castle Tirby last night, and though I didn't get a good look at him, you know as well as I do, no one sounds like the Baron.
What is this nonsense? I was face to face with him and lifted his head for my generals to see at Prevend.
It's him, I tell you. He's alive. We must do something.
The Baron is dead. Now get the hell out of my face before I forget our little truce and never come back here. All I have to do to eradicate your house forever is to wave my arm at my commanders.